Brandon, that you came in probably 7 to 8 weeks ago, and it's probably such a whirlwind, getting traded and come back home. Have you been able to kind of, now that the season's over, process a little bit how much these last couple months have meant to you personally playing for your hometown team?
Yeah, it's exciting. It gives me a level of confidence going into the next season. With the ability that we have and the team that we have, it's just a matter of continuing to grow in our discipline and really like our talent's not the issue. It's just a matter of now. It's just a matter of coming in next year and being ready to perform. Understanding what it takes to win every game, understanding how difficult it is, especially at this level. Winning's hard, and you have to find a way to love that and enjoy it. So bringing these guys together, even just playing for a hometown team, and it's a special thing to do. And hopefully, we can make this group and this team competitive to a point that I can talk trash to the friends that I grew up with and say that, we were part of that Hornets team that made this Hornets franchise consistently dominant.
Grant, there are a few times you catch up with Block and kind of call for it clear out sometimes and you go into your bag a little bit. Can you just talk about maybe the increased role and being able to show people that there's a lot more to my game than maybe I was showing in Dallas or Boston and other places like that?
Yeah, it's a cool thing to have that opportunity. I always say, when you're given the ball, you have to make the right decision. And there's some times where you have the matchup where you can go aggressive yourself, and there's other times where you saw where I catch it and I just be able to play make. And it's something that I enjoy doing because I've always been a person that loves playmaking more than anything else. And I was able to do that under Cliff, and I'm thankful for that. We'll see how this upcoming season goes as we get everybody healthy and what role and capacity I'll be in. But I always say whatever it takes to win, that's what we have to be committed to. And if I'm asked to do what I did at the end of the season, then I'll do that. If I'm asked to do something different, then I'll do that. So we all have to come in with that same mentality and approach of sacrificing for one another and making sure that we prioritize the winning column more than anything else.
Grant, you spent some time obviously with Jason Tatum in Boston. You spent a little bit of time here with Brandon. Do you see any parallels in their games? And just kind of what trajectory do you feel like Brandon's on after just one?
Yeah, Brandon's going to be special. I see more comparisons with the PG kind of comparison too, just because Jason's is his own kind of category because he's 6'10" and has those long arms and just different, like more fluid. But Brandon has the ability as he continues to grow in this league and understand where his spots are and how comfortable he can get to certain shots and what shots are good shots versus bad, where he can really be one of those elite players, elite scorers in the league. And also the thing that I'll say with Brandon is as he continues to develop is his mentality is one of the best I've been around, just in terms of he really wants to be successful and wants to be good. And he wants to not only do that for himself, but also for the team and win. So he's going to have a special growth, hopefully, in this next upcoming year and hopefully in the next however many years to come.
Great. And really good teams that gone to the finals. And when you look at this team, what does this team need to add to kind of take the next step, get to the playoffs and then beyond? What do you put on your kind of GM hat?
I'll let Jeff be the GM, but talent-wise, I feel like we have the talent that's needed. It's just a matter of the discipline and understanding what it takes to go on to win in the health side. Doing all it takes to prepare for games. Doing all it takes to keep your body in the best position it can be, because it's difficult to win if you don't have everyone available. And you see a lot of those teams that have success, like their best players don't miss a lot of games the same way their role players don't miss a lot. When I was in Boston, I think I've seen guys play through the worst of injuries, and like I remember, I'm not going to speak on what some of those guys' health because they may still be dealing with it, but like I've seen guys play through things that needed surgery, and like it's something that it's a mentality, and it's something that we will develop and commit to as we continue to grow together, because all of us here I think are focused on the right things, especially the guys that capped after the trade deadline. It's just a matter of now understanding that as we go into this upcoming season, we focus on one another to be prepared. Coming into training camp at the best of our ability, coming in with a level of commitment to one another to say, like, yeah, even though this may be uncomfortable for me now, it may help us 30 games, 50 games down the line. So I really do believe that the talent's not the issue in this group. Like, if you remember, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago, same group, they were the 4th seed in the East. Then guys got hurt, and they ended up being the 10th or 9th or whatever it was and lost in the play-in. But it's not the talent, I feel like, is the issue. It's just a matter of making sure we're available, and best ability is availability. And making sure that we prioritize that, and some things are uncontrolled, but the things that we can, that's the number one thing. And then in terms of things that we can add, I feel like, I haven't seen this team fully healthy yet, so it's hard for me to say. But when we have the training camp with LaMelo and Brandon and Miles hopefully being back, and Mark, even Nick and Seth, Cody, like, I feel like you have a team that can compete night in and night out. It's just a matter of, and then whatever pick that we have, whether it's top 10, top 8, top 5, whoever type of pick we get, we'll have talent. It's just a matter of being prepared.
You mentioned availability. Coach had mentioned Miles playing on almost every game pretty much this season. From your perspective, you mentioned also you think if you can have him be here long term, it's a good thing for the organization. Why do you think Miles is a good fit for you guys going beyond next year? What does he bring to this team that you think could be missing if he's not around?
He brings a level of versatility to this team. If a guy does miss a game, Miles is going to play, and he can step up and provide the scoring and the ability to put the ball in the basket. He also has the defensive capability to guard multiple different positions. When we have that full lineup and group, I think it's like LaMelo 6'5", however tall he is, 6'7", Brandon 6'6", Miles 6'6", Grant 6'6", and then Mark 7 foot, and that's a lineup that can either switch and also be a team that is really physical because of the group that it is. And the thing about Miles is, he has a voice here. He's been here for a long time, and he's worked his tail off to hopefully get the contract that he gets this summer. So now it's just a matter of understanding the level of preparedness and maturity that it takes to win. And I think that Miles can bring that, and I think that his level of leadership can really continue to grow as it has throughout the rest of this season. And I think that with Miles, one of the cool things about him is that he connects with guys on a deeper level, not just from a player-to-player perspective, but I think that he's done a good job throughout the organization of talking to people. So his ability is there, the talent is there. Now it's just a matter of bringing it all together because, like you said, availability is huge, and Miles doesn't miss games no matter what he's going through, and we really appreciate that about him, and something that I think could be an identity of our team as we continue to follow his lead.
And then with Melo, you haven't obviously played before him just yet, but just wondering behind the scenes, what you've seen from him, and just how much do you think he's ready to kind of come back next year and get at it?
Yeah, I feel like the thing about LaMelo is like, he's actually more mature than people think, especially throughout the rest of the league. Like, it's funny, outside looking in, I said this before I got here, or somebody, I forget who I was talking to, but you would have thought like he was immature, like brash guy, but like his maturity level is there. Now it's just a matter of, understanding what it takes, because he hasn't had those, like he's had some good vets, but he hasn't had, the ones who teach him everything. And I think that's something that I think this group provides with Seth, DB, myself, and being able to communicate with him on a higher and deeper level while also understanding we want his best interests at heart, because he's going to be the best player for this team. And in order for our team to be great, we need him to be great, and we need him to be available. We need him to be a guy that we can follow, and guys can commit and lead and follow behind. So the talent is there. I've practiced with them and seen like the ability. It's not a question of his ability. It's just a matter of doing all the things that matter, and it takes to win, and it takes to really be on the court and out there with the guys. I think that the guys that are here, especially the ones that are staying around, with whether it's myself, Brandon, Miles, we're going to expect the most out of him, and we're going to challenge him. And I think that's something that he'll receive well. And I think that as you see this upcoming year, he'll be prepared to really take that level of growth that you guys have been hoping for and receive. And I think he's played, 30-some games over. I think that number will change.
Grant, I want to apologize if you've asked this about before, but I want to ask you about kind of your pregame or shoot-around routine, because you do something that appears very intentional, where you dap up everybody within a range of the floor. How much of that is an intentional act? Is that something that you've always done, or is that something new you brought to Charlotte?
Yeah, I started that, I think, last year, because I always do an organizational gift at Christmas, just because I always understand that, like, as much as people give credit to the basketball players and the team, it's not just us who make the Hornets or the Mavericks or the Celtics what they are, and I always want to show my appreciation. And to the arena staff too, same thing. Like I started last year because I realized sometimes doing that can change someone's whole day or perspective, or light, like bring light to their day. You know, whether it's a kid, whether it's somebody that's worked for 12 hours, been on their feet for 12 hours, and don't really have many interactions with players. You know, I try my best to like put a smile on someone else's face, and that's kind of how I started it. And I try to keep it consistent because I understand that although you know, things are rough in someone's life, you know, one little light could change their entire week.
And you mentioned how much it means to you to be with this organization and maybe kind of show some of your friends the way that this organization can play, where you find what it is. How much do you, not to go all MJ meme on you, but you take it personally that, you know, sometimes you look up and you see jerseys from other organizations that are here. How much do you want to try to change that and take that personally?
Yeah, that's like number one goal for me. Because I remember, like, I wasn't a basketball fan back then, but I remember when Muxie and those guys were around, and the level of Charlotte fans that there were. And right now we have Charlotte fans a lot, but we also have the guys who turn the Celtics game into a home game for the Celtics, and that's something that I want to take pride in saying that changed, because this arena, this team can be really, really, really good and can be one of the best markets in the league, and that's our job to put a good product on the court so that doesn't happen. You know, as players, we have to take pride in that and say that no other team will make a home game in our arena, because that's something that they should come into our arena thinking, well, dang, it's hard to play here, rather than, oh, well, you know, we can goof off, mess around, and still get a win. Like, that's something that I think we have to take pride in and develop, because night in, night out, you know, these guys, we're going to put the work in. Now it's just a matter of putting the product on the floor to show that success. And I grew up in the era with the Bobcats. I grew up in the era with Bring Back the Buzz. And I remember talking to one of my good friends, Jonathan Hoppy, and him saying that the Hornets can be special. And those words kind of stuck in my mind, and especially once I got traded here. The goal is to be special.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Grant.
Thank you.